Too Many Cooks is a 2014 short film directed by Casper Kelly. It initially takes the form of a 1970s or 1980s family sitcom, but quickly degenerates into dark comedy, pitting an unnamed murderer against the eponymous Cook family throughout several iterations of television genres, including police drama, superhero action, and cheesy science fiction. Some viewers of Too Many Cooks begin to notice the appearance of the murderer once everything shifts from a family sitcom to a police drama, but he actually shows up much earlier. His first appearance is during the introduction of Morgan Birch, the young actress playing one of the Cook daughters. We see most of his body to the right. Then, when the son apparently wins his martial arts competition and is congratulated by his family, the murderer is on the staircase, watching. When we see Guinea Gibbons, the murderer's blurry image can be seen in the background. The same is true for when we meet Mark Farley at the workplace sitcom parody. We see him later in the police drama in the background. Then more and more as Too Many Cooks progresses. He only begins his bloody rampage once the Dynasty parody begins. The characters in Too Many Cooks are almost never given names until the ending credits, which can barely be seen. If Too Many Cooks follows sitcom opening credits rules, we are seeing the actors' names and not the characters' names. A frame-by-frame slowdown of the ending credits reveals the characters' names and the actors who play them. William Tokarski is the actor who plays the murderer, but he is only mentioned as "and featuring William Tokarski" in the credits, unnamed. Some have called the murderer Bill, but this is never explicitly said in the short film itself. If we are seeing the actors' names, then the obfuscation of the murderer's name in the credits would not make sense as he is only a character. However, when the murderer's name is obscured in the opening credits, we are not seeing the actor's name censored, but rather the being himself. This censoring suggests that the murderer is, for lack of a better term, not of this world, not of this show, not of this reality. He jumps between realities, the family sitcom, the cop drama, the sci-fi show, everything. A frame-by-frame slowdown of each time the murderer's name appears and is obscured reveals that his name constantly changes by the second, giving us many different names for the same character. So, if this is true, who or what is the murderer? He is us, the audience, the viewing public that can no longer accept generic, mediocre forms of entertainment. He is exacting our will. Notice that products and institutions in Too Many Cooks deliberately have generic names. The magazine that the grandmother holds is called Magazine. Also, a close inspection of the police uniforms in the cop drama shows that it does not say NYPD or any indication of where they are, or who they are serving. Only PD, Police Department. Film and television is not often the sole creation of a tight team of writers and directors with a singular vision. Rather, it is mandated by executives and producers. This results in the pure version of the show, the one that was intended, being retooled by the network into something overblown, like a family sitcom suddenly becoming a sci-fi show.
Cybernetic Operational Optimize, Knights of Science, defending humanity against beast rebels of the hellscape.
Too Many Cooks is retooled several times in the course of 11 minutes. It begins as a family sitcom and then changes radically multiple times. Eventually, the show is blown way out of proportion and becomes a late 70s, early 80s science fiction program. Let's look into this deeper. It may not be a coincidence that Smarf, a magic anthropomorphic cat, easily the most gimmicky of television characters in Too Many Cooks, is the arch-nemesis of the murderer. Smarf is a product of hive mind corporate thinking, a character that will endear himself to children and sell dolls and action figures. He serves no other purpose. When Smarf appears to be defeated towards the end of the short film, he crawls towards a red button and pushes it. This appears to reset everything, undoing the damage caused by the murderer, suggesting that the red button in Too Many Cooks will cancel the show, a decision made by the network only to be brought back in another form. The solution to the drawing appears to be peacock feathers. The peacock is a network insignia for NBC. Repetition plays a key role in Too Many Cooks. The most obvious way is the constant introduction of an unwieldy cast of characters, starting from family sitcom and ending with science fiction. But there are other instances of repetition. The Wonder Woman knockoff spins around endlessly, slowly turning into a superhero and back into a normal person over and over again. The murderer is cloned into an army during the science fiction parody. Repetition harms creativity. The feeling that we have seen the same story a dozen times before creeps into our minds when we watch television, because so many shows are the product of marketing and demographics more than a creative spark and a show creator with a singular vision. The term too many cooks is an old saying. It comes from the phrase, too many cooks will spoil the broth, too many participants will ruin the endeavor. And that is one interpretation of the short film, the ruination of creative control by outside influences, and our desire to supplant that model by destroying it. In this regard, Too Many Cooks is more than an 11-minute comedy sketch. It is thoughtful, purposeful, and most importantly, subversive. Thanks for watching.